This little machine right here is a laser. It is a fantastic little personalization machine, and it is a great way for you to get into the world of laser engraving. So let's break down everything that this machine can do and help you figure out if it's right for you. Hey there, I'm Sarah. You're watching Creative Ramblings. We talk a lot about lasers on this channel, and today we are diving into this machine right here. This is the AtomStack P1. And I think after using this for a couple of weeks that this is a phenomenal way for crafters to get into the world of laser engraving. Let's start by talking about the company that makes this machine, and that is AtomStack. AtomStack has been around for a while, and they make a wide range of lasers. They're a very reputable company in the industry. They make large CO2 machines for cutting and engraving all kinds of materials, and then they make small machines like this P1 and a whole bunch in between. So when you go with a company like AtomStack that's been around for a while, they have great customer service, good reputation. You can see what other users are saying about their machines. They already have a software developed. They have lots of accessories and recommended materials as well. The P1 is a perfect first laser engraver. It is small and compact, as you can see here. It's just a square. It's got a few buttons on it, and it's fully enclosed. A couple of things that are really important when you're looking to add a laser into your craft room are that it's safe. So I am here in my craft room. I have my other cutting machines and my heat presses and that type of thing around me. I'm working in an enclosed space here. So I want to make sure that my eyes and my lungs are protected from what's going on inside of here. So this one is fully enclosed. It's an FDA certified Class 1 laser, which means I can operate it with this door closed and I don't need to wear any vision protection. This is going to keep me safe. It's easy enough to open the door, put my material right down here. This is the laser head that comes with it. The laser is a pretty good size. It is small, compact, lightweight, it's portable, so I can set it up here and do some cutting and engraving, but if I'm not going to be using it for a week or so, I could always go store it in a cabinet. It's very easy to move around. When you first get this out of the box, it is really no assembly required. I just took it out of the box. I plugged a few things in on the side. I had to take some foam out on the inside, and that was it. I downloaded the software on my computer and the app on my phone, and I was able to start creating within about 15 minutes. A few more technical features on the inside here. So this is the 5-watt laser module, and there is a fairly small working area on the inside where I can put my materials, and I can do materials up to 50 millimeters tall. I can switch out this 5-watt laser module for a 1.5-watt IR module as well. The working area is just a tiny bit smaller for that, but it's roughly the same size. So I can place my material in here and then engrave on it. So this module inside here is a 5-watt diode laser. The word diode is important here. That is a specific type of laser. Different types of lasers work on different materials. So a diode is really versatile. You can use it to cut and engrave wood. You can engrave on stone, on metal, on acrylic, on leather, even fabric. So there's a lot of things you can work with this laser. It is a 5-watt diode laser, so that's on the lower end of things. You can get up to a 60 or 70-watt diode laser too. That power is going to determine how fast the laser moves and how thick it can cut. So right now with a 5-watt diode, I could put a 3 millimeter piece of basswood in there, which is a really thin or soft wood, and I could cut a hole in it with a 5-watt laser. I'm not going to be able to do too thick of wood with a 5-watt. However, This 5-watt laser and this size machine are fantastic for engraving. That's why I'm calling this a personalization machine, because I can take all kinds of materials, put them in here, and add my little personal touch to them. With a diode laser, we can engrave all kinds of wood, cork, stone, stainless steel, coated metals, fabric. You can even engrave some food with this. There is all kinds of stuff that you can add your personal touch to. So you can purchase this machine with just this 5-watt diode laser, or you can get it as a dual laser, which is what I have. So I can switch this out for the 1.5-watt IR module. This is the IR module right here. They're super easy to switch out. This operates at a different wavelength than a diode, so it works on a very different set of materials. This IR is not for cutting. You cannot cut anything with this, but it can engrave on different materials. So I mentioned that the diode can engrave on stainless steel and coated metals. You cannot put a piece of silver or gold or titanium in the diode and get a marking on it, but you can with an IR. So this is great for jewelry, for silver or gold pendants. It can also engrave on plastic, like an earbuds case or a plant stake. Between the IR and the diode, you're going to be able to engrave just about anything. When you're first getting into the world of laser engraving or starting any new technique, it can be a little intimidating because there's a lot you have to learn. With laser engraving, there's a couple ways to go. Some manufacturers will make their machine, and then you have to go use a third-party software like Lightburn or Laser GRBL. You have to learn that software and it will operate the machine. With this P1, you have access to AtomStack's software. They have been building it for a while. It is a really, really good software, and it is super easy to use, very beginner friendly. So when I first set this machine up, I plugged in a USB cord to the side, plugged that into my laptop, downloaded the software, and I was able to start creating. It's a really intuitive software, a lot of guided design templates, a lot of elements you can use. It tells you the settings you need for each material to engrave on. You're gonna pick it up in no time. A lot of other lasers in this size and price range, you have to use Lightburn. Lightburn is a phenomenal software. I really do like it, but there is a big learning curve to learning Lightburn. So it's really cool that you have a software that comes with this machine. The software can be used on your computer. I use it on my Windows computer. It works for Mac as well. There's also an app you can download for any phone, and then you have a Wi-Fi connection between your phone and your machine, and that, I think the app is even easier to use than the software on the computer. When you get this machine, you can get it just as it looks right here with the 5-watt diode, or you can get both that and the IR module in one. You're going to get the cord to plug it in, and you're going to get the USB port to attach it to your computer. Anytime you are using a laser, whatever you are engraving, you're going to create some smoke. Inside this machine, there's a little fan on the very back, and then on the back there is an output for a hose. If you were to use the machine just like this, the smoke that you create from engraving wood is just going to go into your room, and it will smell like a campfire. So I highly recommend you have some type of a ventilation system. So you can see I have a hose on mine back here, and I have this hooked up to a mini air purifier from a different brand. Then I have a window right here, and I keep this window open just so there's nice circulation in the room, because you want to have air intake and then air going out as well. AtomStack does make a mini air purifier that I'm going to link down in the description. It's got some great recommendations, and I think that would be really good. I really like having an air purifier hooked up. I would not use this unless you had some type of a ventilation system hooked up to it, or you're using it out in your garage or outside and you're fully ventilated. So that's a good overview of what this machine is and what it can do, but now we need to make some projects. So I want to show you exactly what this can do, and I am going to walk you through one specific project showing you how to choose settings whenever you engrave anything. So if I want to engrave a piece of wood, you have to pick both a power and a speed for your laser. The software, the AtomStack software, does that for you. You don't have to get too complicated here, but let me walk you through one detailed project and then show you a couple of other things I've made with both the 5-watt diode and the 1.5-watt IR.
This is a piece of blue metal, and I'm going to engrave this with the IR module. So I'm going to start by placing it in the machine and then bring down this little focusing lever, and then I'm going to manually adjust the laser head so it fits snugly. Once that's adjusted, I can flip the leather back up, position the piece of metal where I want it, close the door, and now let's head over to the software. Here in the software, this is on my computer, I have my machine hooked up. It's just plugged in with a USB cord between the machine and my computer. There's a lot of options for customization here. I'm going to add some text. I'm just going to write the word Sammy. This is a dog tag we're making here. But I also have the option to bring in a lot of other graphics or images that I have created. I have measured the dog tag, and I know that I want this name to fill up most of it, so I'm going to set the size appropriately. Over here on the right, I can choose to line engrave, which would just engrave the outside. I can fill engrave it or cut it. Then I'm going to come down a little bit further, and I'm going to pick the right material. These materials are compatible with the laser module I have installed. So I'm going to pick this dark metal, and it's going to give me a suggested power and speed here. So I'm going to go with the suggested power and speed. And now I need to frame. So when I hit frame, the laser head is going to move around the design on my piece of metal. From here, I can adjust the laser head either manually with my hand or with these Y and X coordinates on the top here. Once I think that that box is perfectly placed over my dog tag, I can go ahead and start. The machine is going to start engraving. And on the top right here, it's going to show me a countdown so I know exactly how long this is going to take. All done, and it came out beautifully. I have a really bright engraving on a colorful piece of metal. So let's make a couple more projects.
There really are so many things that you can make with this machine. It is a true personalization machine. So the pros here are it is small, it is compact, it is lightweight, it is going to fit in whatever craft space you have. It is very easy to use. There's no assembly required, and that software is a really low-level learning curve to get you started. It is a fully enclosed Class 1 laser, making it safe to use in your home. I've mentioned before, but other lasers in this price range are typically open. When they're open, you have to wear goggles. You want to be really careful about who else is around you. And the fumes are going just kind of everywhere instead of being vented out through a system here. So having that Class 1 fully enclosed laser is a really big deal. And of course, it's budget friendly. That is always a really big top of mind item for anybody purchasing a new craft machine. You can get this as low as $299 with just the 5-watt diode, and up to about $499, $489 if you get the two of them together. Now that is regular price, and of course they are running sales, so I do have the current sale prices linked down below in the description. A couple of things to keep in mind. You need to really understand what this machine can and can't do so that when you get it in your craft room, you're not disappointed. This is a fantastic personalization machine that's really good for engraving. So if you make jewelry, if you are cutting little pieces, maybe you are putting together some mixed media art and you want to add some detailed words or some designs to it, this is great for engraving and adding personalization to all kinds of materials. You can cut with a 5-watt diode laser. Your bed size is pretty small, so you're not going to be able to cut very large things, and the time to cut is going to be relatively slow. I would go into this expecting to use it as an engraver and not necessarily as a cutter. Because we are dealing with just a 5-watt diode laser here, it is going to operate a little slower than some of the other lasers. However, if you've never owned a laser before, which I imagine if you're watching this, you probably haven't, I have been pretty impressed by the speed of this compared to some other 5 watts that I own. It can get speeds up to 10,000 millimeters per second. I haven't gotten that high yet because sometimes when you go really, really fast like that, your engrave isn't very dark, but the speed compared to its counterparts is actually pretty good for a 5-watt. I think that this laser is fantastic for a crafter who is looking to get into the world of laser engraving, but you're not ready for that giant 40-watt diode or that 50-watt CO2 laser. You want something that you can put in your craft room and add some personalization to. This is a fantastic place to start. AtomStack is a reputable company. They have a software that's super easy to use, and they've got some very thoughtful features in this machine that make it safe and easy to use in your craft room. So I want to know what other questions you have. What more do you want to know about this machine? Let me know down in the comments. Be sure to take a look at the link in the description. I'm going to have the latest sale prices on this machine and any deals that are going on just for you. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'm here every week with new videos helping you move forward in your creative journey. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.